Just initially wanted to ask on team news, has anything changed from last week?
Nothing really special. Always been involved in the training sessions, and probably too early for him to be involved. Next week he's going to be back again, fully fit to help the team. All the other players, they are going to be available for the match.
Lovely, thank you. I wanted to ask around, I guess, reflections on the last game, but also now being in a position that you could ultimately win 3 league games in a row for the first time this season, and just the progress the team's made over the last couple of weeks. You must be pleased with them.
Yes, definitely. We are getting more consistent. That's really important and really difficult at the level that we are playing. It's always good to notice that. Last few weeks, of course, they have been good in terms of results and performance too. And even if you lost that game against Villa, in my opinion, we didn't deserve. The other results before, they were good too. And of course, in terms of performance, of course, when you get 2 wins in a row, the way we did it gives the confidence that the players they needed, boosts the confidence. The mood, as you expect, is being growing and getting better every single week. And of course, when you go in this direction, of course, you want more, and your desire is to get more, and our ambition is more. And of course, as you said, to try the third in a row is something that we haven't done so far. It's clear the challenge for the next one.
Lovely. I guess there's a lot of players in the squad that have been outstanding for you and have probably caught the attention of a lot of people, but someone that's probably gone under the radar in some type of way occasionally is Tosin. He's been really good this season. I guess, how would you look at his performance so far? He's currently outperforming the likes of Lewis Dunk, John Stones on certain metrics. So do you think he's someone that could be in consideration for England when we get down that route, or like what has your assessment been of him this season?
About the national team, of course, I'm not going to be involved in that situation to talk about it. I can talk about him and the work that he's doing and how we're trying to get always the best from him. I agree with you, he's doing well. He had a tough beginning of the season, and he had a small surgery as well, and 3-4 months out was not the best for him, for sure. December month, even if it was really busy for him, he did help the team to reach a very good level. Of course, he's growing. He's an important player for us. Since I joined the football club, he's been really important for me. The way we can get the best from him, the way we can do some things that I really like with him on the pitch. And of course, he's an important player. He's a really good player. And of course, we expect always better things from him. And if he's going to be the case to go for the national team, even much better, because he's always an ambition from a football professional player.
Lovely. Another one that's done quite well so far is Rodrigo Muniz. Scored his last 5 goals, and he's probably ranks up quite highly in terms of goals involvement this February. I guess for someone that's been part of the club, he went out on loan before. What have you seen change around him that's kind of got him in this mentality? And I know you said he's been working hard behind the scenes prior to that, but kind of what's it been like working with him, and is he thriving in this new enjoyment and this new potential that he's showing?
I think it's a normal process in the young football player, to be honest, because the potential that I see on him right now with more 2.5 years, of course, is the same potential that I saw when I decided to sign him and brought him from Brazil. He was a player at that age, 20 years old, when I saw him first time playing at Flamengo, and when I decided to bring him for our football club. It's the same potential that I see on him right now, of course, with more 2.5 years, because that I said it is a process, a normal process in a young striker that needs time, needs confidence, needs the first goals to start to come as well. First season, I have to say that was really positive from him, for a boy that at 20 years old come from different country and all that stuff, without speaking one or 2 words in English. Of course, was a good season for him, looking that we had a striker that scored more than 40 goals that season. And of course, last one was, I'm repeating, that was not the best for him last season. We decided, and I took a decision for him to go out on loan and to play more games. Was not the case, but he grew in a different way. It was an experience for him that make him to understand that the life is not so easy like that, and you have to work really hard. Not that he wasn't working, but show to him that you have to be always on your top, when a chance to come for you to be ready. And this season is being with some ups, other not so good, not so up, like the pre-season really good, bad injury against Man United at home. He was playing really well, got another injury in his knee as well, and finally got the chance, and he's showing his quality, and I'm really pleased for him, because apart the potential that he has, he's a very good boy. He's working hard, trying to learn every single time, and now I said when Raul got injured to you here, that when he's not ready, is a chance for the other to step up, and he did it, showing the quality. Now we have to keep supporting him and keep working with him the same way we were doing before, developing him as more as you can, because the potential is there, definitely.
I guess you mentioned there like the goals that were scored by Mitrovic is in coming into, I guess, the position of a player like that who's done so well for the club. I guess, do you see some reminiscence of the type of player that Mitrovic was in Muniz, in terms of, like, I guess, his ability to not only just score goals but putting pressure on defenders?
No, I will not go into this direction, because I don't want to compare players. It's not what I want. But I have to, and you know how Mitro was special for this football club. How I took almost everything what I could from him, and we did it. Was the best season of his career so far. But I have to remind you as well that the season before in Premier League for Mitro was not at that level, was not scoring so many goals as well. And strikers sometimes they have this type of season as well. Probably many people right now they forget everything about what was the seasons before of him, because of course when you score more than 40, and after the season after he scored 12 or 13 in 23 or 24 games in Premier League, of course that come on the spotlight. But you have to remember as well what he did before in some seasons before as well. And the life of a striker is not always to scoring goals and goals and goals. And you have to be patient with them, to work with them. And about his profile, if he's similar or not, I think is not the most important thing. We know what we tried when we signed him. We know that the skills that we saw in Rodrigo, and the most important thing right now is to speak about Rodrigo and not to compare him with other players.
Lovely, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Mark. Muniz obviously scoring a lot of goals, but the team has started scoring goals. Many times I've come this season and we've talked about how the goals haven't been going in. Last 5 games, I think it's 11 goals. What's changed? Something being done differently, or is it just?
No, we do nothing different. Of course, we have some moments that we score. For example, last December we had two or three games that we scored probably 13 goals. And after moments that we score, the most important thing, if you create, and I have to be honest with you, of course, the beginning of the season, the first 3-4 games of the season, we were not creating enough. When I mentioned here, and I spoke to you here about, because come a lot of conversations about our strikers in that moment. It's normal situation. We sold our main striker and the best striker from last few seasons. And of course, the conversation was about the striker and all that stuff. We were not scoring goals. But I mentioned to you several times here that one of the reasons why we were not scoring was not the reason, was much more that we were not creating enough probably the first 5-6 games of the season. After that, of course, we started creating much more. And of course, when you provide for the players like Raul in that period, or like Rodrigo right now, of course, they have the ability to score as well. And okay, it's a moment of the season. You can score more, you can be more clinical. Other moments you are not so clinical, not so ruthless. I think is a normal situation that happened during the season. Most important for me that if you are able to create, and I think right now you are able to create more chances than the beginning of the season, is a good sign. Is a good sign for us, and that's it. I don't know. I don't have all the numbers because it's not important for me. But I really believe that right now we have more goals scored than last season in this moment of the season. Okay, that this is just a sign that is the way you play, is the way you want to play, and we try always to score goals to in the football matches.
Adama Traore has been back involved now. He's had a lot of problems with injury. Scored in the last game. Mm-hmm. Is he now at a level where you think we're now going to see the best of him? See him maybe reach the potential that he showed early in his career, and a reason why you brought him to the club?
I think what we are going to see from him in the future, in the next few games, has to be better than we saw before, because unfortunately for us and more for him, to be fair as well, is that he was not available to have a chance to show his quality in the training sessions or in the games. Of course, now he's more involved. He's finally last month, 3-4 weeks, he's training every single day without problems, without nothing concerning himself, and this is the most important thing. And of course, he's a little bit, I don't say completely different players than what we have in the other wingers or our forward players. He has some particular skills that is not easy to find, other things that he has to keep improving as well, and the defensive process is really important for him to keep improving, because it's one part of the game that is clear that he has to improve, but he has some things that is difficult to find in one player. And when the game is a little bit more open, when the game is more broken, is almost unstoppable in some moments of the season. And of course, it's up to us, myself as a manager, and up to us as a team, to take the best from him and to make him to help the team like he did last two games, when he was crucial for the first for the 3 points we got at Old Trafford, and of course to almost kill the game, the last minutes of the game against Brighton. Because
he's different from other players in his position, does that mean that he's almost always destined to be a player that's going to be on the bench and will come on later in the game, or is he in contention to start games depending on the...
I don't go in this direction, because what I want from all our players is to fight and to work really hard to get a place in the 11. I know that is the desire and the ambition of Adama, like all the others, and this is what I want from him, definitely, to show that he's capable to start a game and to finish a game, to play 95 and other minutes. Doesn't matter if the game is more tight or the game is more open, and that is the thing. Of course, he has his own profile, and of course it's up to me to decide when he can start a game or he can come from the bench.
A word on your opponents, on Wolves. When they changed the manager at the start of the season, a lot of us didn't know what to expect really from Wolves. We've been surprised by how quickly Gary O'Neill has stamped his own identity on them and have got them where they are in the table.
They have been doing really well. Great for them. Of course, was a difficult pre-season for them. I think some days before the Premier League started, and they changed the manager. Of course, he was a period that for sure he tried to get everything in as quick as he can, and about the idea, about the model, the principles, or the main principles of the team, and the reality that they have been doing really well. Of course, he made an impact in that football club. Looks at a great connection with the players, looking from outside, and of course achieving results helps always to settle everything in football, and they have been strong at home and away too, and it's always difficult to play at Molineux. You know that great support, all that stuff is going to be a very good challenge for us, another one. And of course, after the back-to-back wins, we want more for the next game, and we are going to go in this direction to fight for the 3 points, knowing that it's going to be difficult, and of course recognizing that they have the quality to create problems for us too.
Well, you learn a lot about your team in the sense that there's only 3 points between the two of you, quite evenly matched. So it's about finding the edge in a game like this with two teams that are quite evenly matched in terms of points and position in the table. Will you learn a lot about your team if they can get that win at Molineux, do you think?
No, it's clear our ambition. It's the way we prepare players, and it's clear our ambition, knowing that they are a team that in any moment they can punish you as well. Players like Neto, Sarabia, and all that players that they have in attack line. Of course, Wang is not going to start, but they have the quality to do it. Quality players on the sides, okay, the two wing backs that they support really well their attack. Of course, with Lemina and João, or another midfield in the middle, that they can be solid enough, but at the same time they can arrive from a second line in the box, and they have this quality, definitely they have, and we are aware of everything, but for sure they know our quality too, and they know that it's not going to be easy for them.
Thank you.
Yeah, sorry, just quickly, following on from that point on Adama, I wanted to ask around, so the month of Ramadan starts in a couple of days' time, where Muslim athletes are going to be fasting from sunrise to sunset. Adama and Isa have openly spoken about their faith and, have received Ramadan packs from Nujum. I kind of just wanted to ask, I guess, about some of the work that the club will be doing with them from a training perspective, from I guess match day perspective, we've seen previously in the Premier League that referees have allowed the game to come to a natural pause to allow players to break their fast. So is that something like you anticipate happening a bit more, or I guess supporting the players a bit more?
No, of course, it's not the first time for them, and of course, it's been they have been doing this long time, and of course, before started, of course, we have conversations with the players, our medical staff, nutritionists, all that stuff, for us to be to support as more as you can, and to keep taking the best from them, and of course, the conversation with the some weeks before is really important for us to be able to help them as more as you can, and of course this conversation already started. Yeah.
Lovely, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Marco.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Good, thank you.
João Palhinha, obviously 2 games out, and you've won 2 games. Is it one of those situations where now he's going to have to work his way back into the squad?
Not just João, all the others. William is a good example too. Okay, as you know, William probably is being one of the best players so far since he joined our football club, like João, like Ben. Okay, luckily for us that you have many that I can mention here is a good sign. And William played the first half against Villa. He had a small issue in his hamstring, and of course didn't play against Man United in the last game. Helped us from the bench. To talk about competitiveness, and he's being one of the best players so far. And João is another example. Of course, was not from a small injury, was from the yellow cards, but is another example. One of the reasons why you are right now growing and playing better and getting more consistent. One of the reasons I don't have doubts is because the solutions are completely different. Of course, you know our squad is short, but when you have all available in terms of sessions, in terms of everything, the competition there is really hard for the position, and they have to work really hard. And of course, much better for me, probably more headache to take decisions. That is good, but much better for us as a football club, because we are going to be always stronger if you have solutions, not just on the pitch, but on the bench to decide. Right now, with 5 changes is always good too.
Yeah, fair enough. And you are playing really well at the moment. If you were to get that 3rd win in a row, what would that mean for you and the players?
It's going to be another step forward. When you have a game and there are the 3 points to fight for, and to play as better as you can to achieve it. Okay, it's going to be another step. Is our ambition clear? Our desire to go playing away from home? As I said, we want to improve our away form from the first round of the season, first part of the season. I think we are in the right direction. The last 2 games, of course, we drew and we won. And the last 2 away games, even the game that we drew was a game for us to take the 3 points. That game against Burnley away from home, and our ambition is still the same: to keep improving, to keep being more solid and more consistent away from home.
I think in the reverse fixture, it's fair to say there was a lot of controversy with the VAR in the game, and at the start of the season in general, there's a lot of controversy in the game. I think that's probably slowed down a bit as the season's gone on. Can you credit the referees for improving on that front?
But you are talking overall or about ourselves and Wolves?
We'll talk about you specifically, Fulham games.
Yes, okay. Even Fulham, I know that was a period there with Wolves as well. That was the moment that we played against them with that game, and with 3 penalties in that game, 2 for us and 1 for them. Okay, it's more or less like what I was speaking about goals sometimes, about wins or not. Sometimes it's a moment of the season that happen more with one club or the other. At the end, what everyone wants is to be balanced and to be all the clubs at the same level.
And just one last one on Rodrigo Muniz. How much credit can you take yourself for his improvement?
I don't want to take credit. They go for the players. We are here to do our job and to work with them, to take the best from them. Of course, was a player that when I joined the football club, was a player that we saw in Brazil. No one knew him. Was really young. Not the scouts or whatever. Was a player that we saw some games, and we noticed that it was something there that we can work with and to develop him. Now he's paying off that situation, but of course all the credits come for Rodrigo, and what I want is him to keep working hard, and I will be pleased for him if he is doing well.
Good luck.